Hey there, let's play a game. The game is going to be 3 truths and a lie. I'm going to say 4 things about me in total. 3 of them are going to be true, 1 of them is going to be a lie. Your job is simple. Just figure out which one the lie is. Now, to be honest, the odds are not really in your favor here. That's a 1 in 4 chance of winning and a 3 in 4 chance of losing. But hey, I'm the house here. I get to make the rules, so fuck you. If you win and you catch me in the lie, all you have to do is like the video. But if you lose, you have to like the video, comment WJace, and share the video. Alright, are we clear on the rules? Cool. Let the games begin. Alright, first thing. I got trained by a magician for a whole year. 2, my very first podcast interview and podcast experience in general in this life was with Dante Nero. For those of you who don't know, Dante Nero was Patrice O'Neal's best friend and the guy that trained Pete Davidson in the art of seduction. Number 3, I fought my way to a silver medal at my very first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. And number 4, one time when I was younger, when I was starting out in pickup, I approached this girl the wrong way and she ended up slapping me so hard that my ears rung for a month. Alright, that's all 4. So my question to you is, which one was the lie? If you need to pause the video or rewind it just to figure it out, take your time. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Okay, that's time. Now let's go over each one, see which one is the lie. And remember, if you lose, you got to like the video, comment WJace, and share it. Alright, I don't want to do this in any particular order. Alright, let's start with this one. Was my first podcast experience with Dante Nero? Yes, the answer is yes. I do have a podcast with Man School 202 with Dante Nero and Harry Tarjanian. Go check it out on their YouTube, by the way. Alright, next. Did I really win a silver medal in my very first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament? Yes, I did. And as you can see, I'm not too happy about it. Not my proudest moment. I lost to an armbar in the final match, which is ironic because I won by armbar in the previous match. And then there were 2. Did I really get trained by a magician? Or did I really suffer ear-ringing rejection? Find out in the next episode of... Now I'm just playing with you. And the truth is... Drumroll, please. I was trained by a magician for a year. Yeah, it's true. I don't want to talk about it. Your boy thought he was going to be the next Dynamo. So yeah, the thing about like getting rejected and slapped to the point where my ears were ringing, totally a lie. And if you believe that, I want you to know that you're actually perfectly normal. Because if I'm being honest, the game was designed for you to lose. Let me explain. Assuming you lost the game, and I'm going to assume you did, you may not know it, but what I just taught you to do through that game is how to lie properly. Because lying, just like honesty and authenticity, is a science. Really think about it right now. Why did you believe the rejection story? You might be telling yourself, well, Jason, you do teach pickup. It's not unbelievable that you've gone through rejection like that. And yes, there is merit to that kind of logic. But did you really believe that story because of the logic behind it? Or because the other 3 sounded just a little bit too unbelievable? Let's be honest here. Getting trained by a magician for a year, having massive beginner's luck with both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and podcasting, those are some massive claims to make. And as a result, quite unbelievable. I bet you wouldn't believe me if I didn't show you proof earlier. And that's the major first step to how honesty actually works. Quote me on this. People, especially women, only think you're honest when you're self-deprecating. People are not wired to believe the truth when the truth makes you look good. A lot of the time, a blatant lie is more believable than the honest-to-God truth. Because a blatant lie makes you look bad. And for whatever reason, maybe because of people's general low self-esteem, as human beings, we've associated realness with weakness. You're only being real in your music when you're only talking about how fucked up you are. You're only being authentic when you have tears in your eyes. There are 2 main reasons people have for only believing the negative things about you. The first one is obvious. Low self-esteem. Misery loves company, and people love to believe the worst things about you because it makes them feel better about themselves. But then there's the second reason that almost no one ever talks about, especially with regards to male and female relationship dynamics. And that is, quite simply, they want the worst parts of you first because it gives them significant leverage over you. Yes, she'll tell you that she wants you to be vulnerable and authentic because it's real. But in reality, it's just a way for her to cover up her own insecurity. What she really wants is to have something over you. Some power she can wield, some string she can pull, some leash she can tug on. Something that'll help her to control and manipulate your behavior towards her. So I keep telling men, be careful falling for that whole vulnerability trap. Remember the story of Samson and Delilah? Samson, big, strong man, superhuman strength. Only weakness he had was his hair. And Delilah did everything to try to get the secret out of him. And every time he didn't tell her, she would do this. Pout and claim that he didn't love her. How interesting is that, right? Eventually, our boy Samson just caved and told her the secret. And what happened right after that, you may ask? She cut his hair and called the ops on him. Now, one may argue that Samson was just trying to be authentic and bear himself out to her. And I would argue that that cost him his freedom. Now, I'm not saying you can't be vulnerable with people. Thankfully, just like every other law out there, there is an exemption to this one. And the exemption is, you're allowed to be vulnerable with other people only as long as they're willing to be vulnerable with you. That's when the bond gets stronger. When a secret is shared between the two of you. If only one person has bared out the skeletons in their closet and the other person is still hiding theirs, that is an uneven exchange. You do not give human beings that kind of power over you. That's a bad idea historically. People do not have the discipline to not take advantage of your vulnerability. So if you're going to be open and vulnerable with them, make sure they're doing it back. That way there's some kind of incentive for them to behave themselves in turn. I get asked this question all the time. Jason, is pickup authentic? Isn't pickup just a way to pretend to be the kind of guy a girl wants, just long enough so you can get in her pants? The answer I give is usually in analogy form. Let's say you're in the market for a new microwave, and your budget for a new microwave is like $150, right? You get to the store, and the first set of microwaves you see kind of look like this. Cheap, hastily made microwaves that cost like $50. You figure, my budget is $150. I can do a little better than this. So you go up the aisle and you run into one of these. It's got great aesthetics, great performance, it comes with a year-long warranty, and it costs around $125, so it's right there within your budget. This is it, right? This is the one. This is where you need to be. You look behind you and see a bunch of these that you don't want because you can do better than that. But then you look in front of you and see all these cool industrial level microwaves that honestly are out of your price range. These cost $299.99. They're literally the best your money can buy. The problem though is you don't got that kind of money. You would have to blow twice your budget on one of these bad boys, and you just can't afford to do that, right? Until you notice one of these has a sales tag on it, where the $299.99 is crossed out, and then it says, on sale now for $199.99. You inspect the tag thoroughly and realize the sale ends tonight, and the store closes in like 30 minutes. So this same microwave for this same sales price will not be here tomorrow. But your budget is just $150 though. Are you really willing to increase your budget by another $50 just to get a better quality microwave? Just another $50 can get you superior performance, aesthetics, etc. This thing is guaranteed to last you a lifetime. You will never need another microwave again. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. Are you willing to risk $50 to get possibly the best deal you ever could? Most people would say, yes. And just like that, I just explained to you how pickup actually works. The microwave buyer with a certain budget is the woman, and you are the microwave. The best deal is not necessarily the cheapest. It's ironically the most expensive that she can get within reach. The ability to achieve unattainability and attainability at the same time without being unbelievable. That is what pickup is. Because no one wants a $50 microwave, dude. But not everyone can afford a $300 one. So am I saying become a $125 microwave? No. Be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that she can't possibly afford to miss out on. $300 microwave, $200 sales price. But with a massive emphasis on the time constraint. Is pickup really authentic then? Honestly, that's like asking me if salesmen are authentic. if football players and basketball players are authentic. Pickup, at its core, is just a skill. That is all. And just like any skill, it's a tool you use to get what you want. And again, just like any other skill out there, if done correctly, what you end up doing is creating a win for yourself and the people you interact with. But Jason, pickup is not real. Pickup is not authentic. Why do you need to use tricks and tips and techniques to meet girls? Why can't you just be yourself? Just be yourself! I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't work. One thing I've come to realize is that most people are massively biased against being result-oriented about their dating. Like seriously, in what other realm of life does be yourself actually qualify as solid advice? I say this all the time. There's 3 things every man is convinced beyond every reasonable doubt that he can do flawlessly. Every man thinks he can win a fight. Every man thinks he can make money. And every man thinks he can get the girl. The ironic thing about all 3 of these things is that you need specialized training to be good at any single one of those things. You need to gather some level of experience to get good at making money, winning fights, getting girls. And by the way, this is not controversial to say. This is quite common sense if you really think about it. Imagine going to work for a big company in sales, and they don't even try to give you any kind of scripts or orientation or nothing. They just say, pick up the phone and start calling. You have no idea what you're trying to sell, who you're trying to sell to, their customer avatar, nothing. And you think you're going to be successful in this highly competitive marketplace? Imagine you have a boxing match, right? And in between rounds, your coach says, listen. He's going to try to come over the top with that over right hand. And then he's going to try to follow it up with a left jab to the body. And when he does that, all I want you to do is be yourself. You're going to get knocked out, inevitably. It doesn't matter how authentically you are in that ring. If you authentically suck, you're going to get knocked out. If you authentically suck at marketing and sales and persuasion, you're not going to make any commission. You can be authentically you as much as you want. But if what you authentically are is not appealing, then expect your dating results to suffer. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Now, I want to make it clear. I don't have a problem with you wanting to be yourself. That's not my issue. My issue is that you're taking that advice from people who have already gone through the process of working on their skills to the point where they are now. I think it is massively disingenuous to tell people that haven't even gone through the fire of practice yet that they should just be themselves. That's not enough for where they are right now. We need to properly contextualize the information we give. What we call being yourself or being authentic is really just unconscious competence. That is a high level of competence that most people just aren't at yet. You can't tell someone that's still at unconscious incompetence or conscious incompetence to just be themselves. Because ultimately, no matter how hard they try to be themselves, what they are is incompetent. That's the missing piece of information that needs to be properly contextualized. And people wonder why I push pickup so hard. Because it's a must-learn skill. You need pickup. You need to know how to talk to women. You need to know how to run an interaction. You need to know how to exist around the kind of women you want to exist around. I do not care how much work you put in to max out all the other things. If you don't have a skill, then you just don't have a skill, bruh. And it will not kill you to work on the skill. When you're properly skilled, you can be yourself all you want. Because by that time, who you truly are is competent. Remember when Tom Brady did that goofy-ass combine? One of the worst quarterback performances in a combine. I tell you right now, he was definitely being himself. But this guy, this Tom Brady over here, is not the same guy that went on to win 7 Super Bowl rings in the span of 2 decades. This guy is skilled. You have way too much competition out here to be winging it. You cannot keep leaving shit up to chance. Get a skill level.